Okay, I'm going to make a statement that might shock some of you, and you would do well to think about it for some time. I believe that if tomorrow there were some sort of massive and comprehensive systemic disaster, resulting in a loss of just-in-time goods and services, such as Wal-Mart, and a loss in available grid electrical power and water, and if that disaster, whether it be man-made or natural, caused a scenario where the omnipresent paternal government could not or would not be able or willing to send any appreciable aid for a long period of time, that at least half or more of the population of the United States would die in less than a year. That is a staggering 150 million deaths. But Rome never thinks she can fall. I believe that America is falling into the same traps that Greece and Rome fell into. Think about it. A free and independent agrarian people can be conned into dependency and slavery in less than a century. This can only happen if the people are taught to think differently. Colonialism, whether good or bad, is designed to make a people change the way they think and operate so that they can become valuable and beneficial resources to the foreign colonial power. In order to make a successful and thriving agrarian people accept that industrialism would bring them both prosperity and unity, the minds of the people had to first be subjugated and colonized. As Will Durant said, Greece went from self-sufficient, sustainable family life to international dependency on imports and exports in 100 years. The same thing is happening in America. During the Industrial Revolution, thousands of years of history and successful living were thrown out, the baby with the bathwater. Over a period of 100 years, the agrarian mind was overthrown, atrophied, and the industrial and urban mind was developed in its place. Independency was replaced with dependency. The whole mind was fragmented and compartmentalized so that the man or woman could be forced into specialization like an ant or a bee in a colony. People were robbed of their concept of wholes, WHOLES, and instead were sold on the virtue of parts. Survival became someone else's business. Marketers and salesmen applied to the baser desires of greed and covetousness to convince people that their old lives were hard and unprofitable, but in the brave new world, they would have gadgets and fun and free time and leisure, thus fracturing the family unit. It is my opinion that urban industrialism is responsible for most of what is wrong with the world. Okay, sin is what is wrong with the world, but industrialism is the catalyst of all that sin does and can do in the world. It is distilled sin in that it perpetuates and allows all that man imagines, and therefore in industrialism, nothing is restrained from man that he might imagine doing. So in Genesis 11:6, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Now this makes industrialism the modern Tower of Babel. It is the one language of the world, and it is the result of the carnal man saying, go to, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach into the heaven. Of course, the city is urbanism and the tower is industrialism. And I think that agrarianism is God's survival alternative. And disconnecting from the current system is necessary for our spiritual safety, physical well-being, and for our eternal good. Next time I'm going to talk about the system that we call the grid. The grid causes us to rely on the world instead of on God. Get prepared.